Your bank does not have your money. Benny will say that again. Your bank does not have your money. When you put money in the bank, you think it is sitting there in a vault, waiting for you, safe. Benny thought this too. Benny was wrong, and Benny is very upset about it. Here is what actually happens. You deposit $100. The bank looks at that $100 and says, "Great! We will keep $10 here, just in case you want it back. The other $90, we are going to lend that to someone else and charge them interest on it." So your money is now someone else's loan, and you are both looking at your accounts thinking the money is yours. This is called fractional reserve banking. The fraction is how much the bank actually keeps. The rest, they lend out and make money from it. It is completely legal. Every single bank in the world does this. It has been happening for hundreds of years. Benny does not like this, but Benny respects the audacity. It actually started with goldsmiths. In the old days, people would bring their gold to a goldsmith for safekeeping. The goldsmith would give them a paper receipt, a promise that the gold was there. And people started using those paper receipts to buy things instead of carrying actual gold around. Then one day, a goldsmith noticed something. Not everyone came to collect their gold at the same time. So he thought, what if I lend some of this gold out and charge interest? I will still have enough for the people who come today, and I will make extra money on the side. And that, right there, is banking. The genius and the terrifying part of fractional reserve banking is that it multiplies money. When the bank takes your $100 and lends 90 to someone else, that person spends the 90. The shop they buy from deposits the 90 into their bank. That bank keeps 9 and lends out 81. And on and on and on. $100 becomes almost $1,000 floating around the economy. The bank created money without printing a single note, without the government doing anything. They just made it. Wait, Benny needs a second. So the money in your account is real, but the bank does not physically have it. What they have is a promise that loans will be repaid, that the economy will keep moving, that not everyone will show up at the same time wanting their money back. And what happens if everyone does show up at the same time? That is called a bank run, and it is a disaster. In 1929, people lost trust in banks during the Great Depression. They all showed up at once. The banks did not have the money. Banks collapsed. People lost everything. That is why today governments insure your deposits, so that even if the bank goes under, you get your money back up to a certain amount. The promise has a backup promise. Benny finds the existence of the backup promise very informative. Here is the dark truth. Since 2020, in the United States, banks are required to keep exactly 0% of your deposits in reserve. 0. They can lend out everything. The only thing stopping them is their own judgment about risk, which, as the 2008 financial crisis demonstrated, is not always their strongest quality. Banks make money 3 ways from this system. They earn interest on the loans they give out. They charge fees on your account. And the gap between the tiny interest they pay you on your savings versus the much larger interest they charge borrowers, that gap is called the spread. And that spread is enormously profitable. You earn almost nothing on your savings. They earn a lot on your money, which is now someone else's loan, which was your deposit, which is not physically there. So the bank is a shop that sells a product, money that it does not actually own to people who need it and charges them for the privilege while paying you almost nothing to use yours. Penny finds this outrageous. Penny also finds it extremely clever. Both things are true.